Show me love, make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love. Show me light, show me love. Make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love.
Good morning, my beautiful people. How are we doing today? We're back here. It's Wednesday morning, so we're here about to get inspired with beauty inside and out. What a show I have for you today. Ooh, the live chat is already live. Hey, thank you, thank you. It is that day of the week. Hi, Mirav. Thank you for being here. You know, this show today, all I gotta say is get ready. Get ready because it's going to be meaningful, impactful, powerful, inspirational. You know, we grow in different ways in this lifetime and on our journey. And more time than we would like, we grow from pain and we grow from heartache and we grow from loss. And my guest today is experienced that firsthand, and she's here to share her beautiful story. So let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. I want you to be active part today in the show, in the live chat. Share this right now. If you know that anybody that suffered loss, suffered heartache, suffered pain, needs some inspiration, or just have nothing to do in the morning and could use some good vibes in their lives, bring them over here, send the link, let them know that we're here. Thank you for being here. Hi, hey, love it, love it. Halo is here. So happy to be here. I'm so happy to have you here. So today's show's name is the Swan Effect. If you're not familiar with the term, it's a term when unexpected events happen and basically flip the script on us, change our life, disrupt everything as we knew it thus far. It's also known as the Black Swan theory. It's a theory from the finance world, from the way I know it, but also people use it in real life and regular things that happen to them to describe an event that changed everything. People called the COVID, what happened, this Swan effect. Even October 7th, that changed everything as we know it right now in the world. That's a Swan effect. The 2008 financial crisis, that was a Swan effect. So we can call big events Swan effects, but also for me, for example, personally, the death of my mother was a Swan effect in my life. We did not expect it to happen. It happened really fast. From the moment we found she was sick until the moment she passed away was 3 months. Before we knew what happened, she was gone. And if you've been here in the show before, I told you she was everything to us because my father had the bad accident. So she was the main person in the house running everything. She was our little energizer bunny. That's how we called her because she was like 5 foot and running around and handling everything. And, all of a sudden, before we knew what happened, she was gone. By the way, she's right here with me today, my beautiful mama. So we all get to experience in one way or another a Swan effect in our life. And it can be something that will be deep and heavy and life changing on the inner, but it also can be changing on the outer. I don't know if you guys ever seen Kelly, not Clarkson, the other one that won American Idol. I forgot her last name, but she had a bad accident a couple of years ago, she fell off her steps and scarred her whole face. And she said that was like one of the biggest, most meaningful events in her life because she really didn't know how to look at herself in the mirror again and how to handle it and how to cover it. And she said, it's not about the money that I have to get a plastic surgery. It's about getting used to it and just day to day in front of the mirror, looking at myself, looking different, and even doing it on my own, just with my makeup and how to fix it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today, too. A little outer beauty tips, a little inner beauty inspiration. It's going to be a really, really good show. Let me see who else is here. Hello from Israel. Hi. Let me know that you're here. If you're live, please name where you're from, what's going on. Also, please share with us, if you ever experienced the Swan effect moment in your life's journey. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. Um, I'm going to bring my guest in a minute because I feel like I want to give her as much time as possible on the stage. I do want to share a quote, of course, because that's what we do here. I prepared a few for you. Let me see which one I want to share first. Let's do this one. Trauma creates change you don't choose. Healing is about creating change you do choose. And that's really a lot of what we're going to talk about here today. Choices, the choices we make before, after, during, and how they shape our life's journey. Um, I want to read something a little personal before we get into the lost story of my guest. And if you've seen the promos to the show, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, stay tuned. You want to hear it. But we're speaking about loss today and, getting up from that loss and raising our spirit, our body, our mind, our soul from the sorrow. And I just want to share a little something I wrote for my mom a few years after she passed away. She was truly everything to me, and it was one of the hardest moments of my life. I think for the first year of grieving, I didn't even make eye contact with people. I was so detached from reality. I didn't have no clue what was going on. It was really like everything I knew as it was changed, and you feel like you have no control over your life anymore. And I just wanted to believe that she's still here with me, and I felt it in my heart and in my soul. So I always wrote her some poetries, and this is one that I wrote for her, and I want to share it with you guys real quick. It's part of our, the segment that I love about poetry, which is and of course, I tell you guys all the time, if you like to share your poetry, please send it my way. I would love to hear from you. So here is mine. This is for the one who called upon me, the one who knew how our journeys are going to be. We needed to spend some years together. We needed to learn to let go, yet hold on forever. Joined forces with the Almighty, and a life was born. Some years later, same lives were torn, separated but only for a moment in this physical realm, adjusting to life together as spirits, no longer in the disguise of humans. She was the one. That's why I answered her call. She gave me everything I needed, so in this earth walk of mine, I can always rise and not fall. That's what my mom meant for me. Sometimes we have to be here for one another, and sometimes it's time to let go. And the crazy part about loss, too, it's inevitable. We know it's happening. We just never want it to happen because we enjoy this physical connection so much. I'm going to read a couple more. We have the live chat. Let me see who's here. Oh, I saw this one. Um, Carrie Underwood, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. That was Carrie Underwood, not Kelly. I was thinking about Kelly Clarkson. We're talking about Carrie Underwood. Thank you, Mirav. I appreciate that. Dea, hi, Dea. Thank you. Thank you. You're here from NYC, close by. There was a guest on this show as well. So I want to introduce to you Livnat. She is, besides of being an incredible human and a beautiful soul, she's an author and she's a speaker. She's an owner of her business. It's called Business, where she guides CEOs and managers into those moments of making decisions, real life decision, when things are going on in their companies where they need that assistant. I'm saying what she's doing in my own words, but I'm going to let her introduce herself too in a couple of words, so she can tell you a little bit more about it and share her story. So, as always, without further ado, here is Livnat. Hello, hello, beautiful. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Well,
It's
good
the afternoon.
afternoon to you.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. In Israel, we're in the afternoon.
Yes,
The
yes.
weather hot, steamy, and
Yeah, same here. Same here. We're boiling. And I always tell everybody, in the beginning of the show, I still look normal. By the end of the show, because I can't do the air conditioner or the fan because they're noisy, I'm melting in here. But we got to do what we got to do. How are
better.
you today?
I'm fine. I'm very excited to be here. I
I'm
was
so
looking forward to
excited.
meeting you and talking to you and to your audience.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really excited to have you. It's such a privilege to have you here. Share what you do and share your story. Why don't you tell us in a couple of words too? Because, I don't know if I butchered your bio or not, but you're more than welcome to add a little bit more to that and tell us a little bit about what you do, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. So I'm 55 years old. I'm a mother. First of all, I'm a mother to four beautiful daughters. I live in Israel, in Tel Aviv. I I was a senior in the banking and the non-banking system for over 30 years. I was a manager. I managed a lot of sections in the discount bank, which was my home. I was there since I was 25 years old. Even before I was a mother, I was already carrying my eldest daughter, in my belly, which I didn't know. And
Wow.
I was actually growing up with discount and got a lot of beautiful opportunities to be a manager. I was always a manager from the beginning of the beginning. And
Mm,
after almost 30 years, I chose to move on to Phoenix Gamma. I was there a VP of credit, and I built a beautiful system of credit in this beautiful company. And in the last 3 months, I'm a business entrepreneur. I do my own business, which is called Biz Niz, which is my last name, Biz of Nizri, and I accompany CEOs and the company in the financial, like banks and the non-banks. I do also consulting of a strategy, but not only strategy, financial, organize
station. Mm-hmm.
exactly, because I think everything comes together to this company, to what they want to grow. We always are in the black swans, always, even if
Right.
we know it, even if we don't want it, and even if we don't choose it. Sometimes we do the change. We want to change, and then we take it to the next level. But even when we choose the change, it doesn't mean that we know what's about to come. This is
Right.
life. Life is like this, and we go up, we go down, and we need to always maintain ourselves, our core,
Right.
our
Absolutely.
values. And 11 years ago, my whole life changed. From
Mm.
I was involved in a car accident. In a car, I drove the car. I have four daughters. I said I was with my two youngest daughters, Yuval and Hila, and we were involved in a car accident. The night of the accident was an ordinary night, ordinary evening, and I tell it in my two books. And I made some choices in this evening, choices that altered this evening from a normal, ordinary evening with the choices of a mother to this intersection of death and of
Mm.
chaos that
Yes.
changed my entire life. And I tell this story to the world, and I chose to publish 2 books about this, to share my soul, to share my heart, to share my sorrow, because I made choices that helped me and my family to choose life. Because we are both living, right? Everybody that are listening now, we're all living because we chose. Not because we choose, because we're here.
Right.
But the meaning of life is not just to wake up every morning and to do our day to day. The
Right.
meaning of life is to choose to live every day, even when we are sorry, when we are suffering,
Sorrow.
even when
Yes.
we are aching. Even then,
Yes.
my strategy is to choose joy always, to
Yes.
choose to live this moment, because we don't have another life. We are born with a clock that, we think we get like 120 years to live,
Right.
but really we come here with the 120, and it goes backward.
Right.
Every moment that we are here is not going to return.
Right.
So
And
every moment is a choice.
yes, yes, and we see it too every day. Even in the last 2 days, I don't know if you saw it too, but here in the news, it's been all over the place because two very famous people just passed away. One in Ozzy Osbourne, and the other one in Malcolm Warren, Jamal Warren, who was from the Cosby Show, and him too. He went on vacation in Costa Rica with his wife and his daughter, and he went swimming and a current in the water took him, and they found his body. And it's like a person goes on vacation, like you said, it's just an ordinary thing. You guys
Ordinary,
went, I know you picked her up from dance class, you guys stopped for ice cream.
right?
I read a little bit in your book about, you speak about the choices you made that day and then the choices you made afterwards, and kind of reflecting on both, how we can sit in the sorrow of the choices I made that led to this accident and to this tragedy, and I can sit and blame myself for them, or I can choose to let go of it and move on and choose now where I am in this situation, choose life. And I remember asking you when we spoke, how did how did you get to the point of choosing otherwise for you rather than the sorrow, and seeing your family and knowing what you needed? So if you want to speak a little bit about that.
Of course. First, I want to say that I began my story in my book with
Mm.
those choices exactly, because I want to say everybody that are listening to me now, whether you are CEO or a mother or a wife or a daughter or whatever you are, it doesn't matter. You do choices every day, all day long,
Right.
and you cannot judge yourself in the wisdom of the perspective, because it's not really a wisdom. What you choose now, you do the best that you know that is best
Oh,
right now,
absolutely.
with your core values, with your abilities, with your rolling dice. This is why I called my first book the rolling dice, because this is
Yes.
how we all play in life. Life is a game, and the game is created by us. Of course, we play with other people. We don't control other people's choices. We only control ourselves. So
Yeah.
in this evening, I could judge myself, and I did. Of course, I did, because the consequence of these choices, in my eyes, in my mother's eyes, was a tragic loss of my beloved, beautiful, talented Yuval, which was a beautiful soul, both in the inside and both on the outside. She was a gymnastic Olympic dancer. She was creating every moment of her life. She was busy from 6 o'clock in the morning when she woke up with me. She didn't need to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but she wanted her time with me. And she woke up. She was sitting by me when I was getting ready to work, and then she started her full-time day because she was going to school. She was only, she was 11 years old. She was a small soul, but she was a wisdom one. She was an ancient soul in so many ways. She woke up, she went to school, and after school, every day, 5 times a week, 5 hours every day, she was in her gymnastic. You see her now. She was a swan. And the
Yes.
swan effect is not only something you read about. It's not only a theory in psychology or in economics, which we all know, because you introduced it in the beginning of this episode. She was really a swan. She was a beautiful swan, a beautiful dancer, and she was so talented. And she found out about it herself. Nobody saw it. She was like, when she was like 3 years old, she was doing all those things in the living room, and then I took her to dancing course. And then after a few months, when she was so small, and she was always on the first row because all the girls looked at her. She knew everything by heart, and she was so talented. And then the um,
Manager,
the
the
manager
teacher.
said, "No, she needs to go to Olympics. She cannot go. She cannot stay here." And then we came to this beautiful, when everybody is like throwing things in the air and everything is stripes and the costumes, and she was like, her eyes. She was so small. She was 5 years old, and she was like,
Wow.
"What's that? This is my playground. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to grow." She chose it herself,
That's
and of course
amazing.
she succeeded because she had this drive, this
Right. And
drive.
passion. She already discovered her passion.
Exactly, this was passion, and nothing hurt her, and nothing was painful, and nothing was hard because she was excellent in her studies, in their studies. She was excellent in her gymnastics. She got medals, of course, with her group, and she
Yes.
still managed to grow up two dogs. To was a friend who loved her friends, and they are still talking about her. She was a model. So when I chose, I I was inspired by her. I
Yeah.
was looking at her and I said, this little soul who did so many things in less than 12 years, this is the choice of life. And
Yeah.
when she passed away, they asked us if we are willing. This was the first choice we made. We are willing to donate her organs. And
Mm.
we have decided to do this because we thought this was Yuval's legacy. Even though
Yes.
she was so small, she couldn't sign anything, but it was her choice. And
Yeah.
she saved 5 souls. She
Wow.
donated her heart, her lungs, her kidneys, and she
Wow.
saved 4 small children and one woman. And
That's
I think
incredible.
this is her legacy, really. But except for this, for saving life, which is, I think, the most honorable that anyone can do for the
Do.
other
Uh,
person, it's the
Absolutely.
ultimate donation. It's like you don't get
Absolutely.
anything back; you just give. And I
Yes.
think this was our first choice as a family. And I'm saying it's not our choice. And then there was this moment when Hila was also in critical situation.
Condition. Mm-hmm.
Of course, they were both in 1 week of between death and life. And the
Mm.
moment that Yuval passed away, this was the moment that Hila woke up. And
Mm.
this was like parents that on one hand we lose the world, but on the
Yes.
other hand we gain the world. And it was like
Yes.
so. I don't know how to explain it, but it was
Yeah.
like
It tears
one
you apart. Uh,
exactly. We
I
were
can
torn
only
apart.
imagine. Yeah, because you're in a situation where you want both, and yet you don't want to lose both. So at least you're
Exactly.
you somewhat stuck in, like, at least I
When I
got one,
was
but I do want the other one. So how do I go on from here?
when I was sitting next to the both of them, because I was also injured and I was in a wheelchair, but it didn't
Mm.
matter nothing. I was sitting there day and night, and I was praying to God to bring them both back to me. But I was feeling that they were both waiting for one another, and I was
Mm.
terrified by it because I knew I could gain them both, but I was afraid of the
Losing.
unbearable loss which I could. And there was this rabbi which came, and he was sensing the same thing. He's called the X-ray rabbi.
Mm.
I don't know if you know him.
Yes.
And there are things that they cannot be explained, not by religion and not by anything. It was just, he was a messenger. He was a messenger, and he came to the hospital for them. I was asking him to come, and even though he is placed in a very in the south, in the far
Yes.
south of Israel, and he left everything because I asked him to come, and he came to the daughters, and he was moving from both of them. They were sitting like they were, there was
Yes.
only a wall between them both in a critical condition. And when he came out, except for talking to me about how I feel, and he's not talking about the good daughter, and he said to me and to my husband that we need to be strong in our love. Before even speaking about the daughters, I'm talking about him, and he said that he separated their struggle for me. And this is something I couldn't speak. I couldn't tell it because I couldn't tell it to anybody. I didn't tell it to anybody, not even to my husband, not to my family, not to my parents, to anybody, because I was to nobody, because I was afraid of saying it even out loud.
Out loud.
But
Yes.
when he said it, it was clear for me that I'm praying for them both,
Yeah.
of course. But I'm telling you that this what happened. Yuval passed away, and Hila came back. And
How many days was she in the hospital?
both of them were no. Hila was 3 months in
Recovery.
exactly, but Yuval passed away after a week. 1 week.
After-
They were
Mm,
both in the
yeah.
danger of life, and luckily Hila survived, and now she is 18 years old, beautiful and
Wow.
talented, and a dog trainer, and she's going to learn psychology, and she wants to treat children with dogs. This is her main.
Oh,
So this is what
beautiful. Through
she's going to do.
animal therapy. That's
Exactly.
incredible.
Animal
That's
therapy.
incredible.
This is what
So,
she's going to learn. So the
and I want
exact
to
moment
ask you
was.
something. Go ahead.
I want to answer you. I'm sorry, because
Yeah, no, go ahead.
you asked me how I chose, and
Right.
what was the first step. I was miraculously near Ila in the hospital alone. I'm saying miraculously because we were surrounded by many people all the
All the
day,
time. Yeah.
always. We weren't alone for 1 second, and I was sitting near Ila, and miraculously I was alone, and she was asleep. She was still in the emergency care, and I was putting my hand on her hand, and all of a sudden I was able to see something very clear. I was able to see my family. I was able to see not only Yuval and her loss, which was, this was shattered for me. It broke me into pieces, not into two. It broke me into pieces. And
Yes.
suddenly I could, and it was overwhelming when you lose a child. And I don't want anybody to feel it, but I'm telling you that when you lose a child, when I lost my child, I couldn't see anything else. The pain is so it breaks you,
Yes.
it shatters you. And all of a sudden I was able to see in front of my eyes my daughters. And at
Mm,
that moment I decided that I will not let them live in the shadow of Yuval, because Yuval is the most
yeah.
she
Light
cannot
loving creature.
no, she will always be the
Right.
beautiful, the talented. She will always be the same. She will never be anything else.
Yes.
She will be a secret for everybody all the time, because she cannot do anything to harm this, right? She
Right.
cannot, she can nothing. She will
Nothing
always.
will change.
Exactly. And I
Yes.
know what happens to families sometimes when the dead child is more important or more powerful. Not important, of course, it's not more important, but it's overwhelming. It's all over the house. The
Yes.
absence is more alive than those who are here and
Yes.
those who are present. And I've decided that it will not happen to my daughters. They will. I understood that my role as a mother and as a leader of the family is the most important role right now. That everything I did until now doesn't count. That the way I handle this situation, this loss of Yuval, and 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 my life and the life of my family is the most important thing. How I handle it now, and what I did, I didn't know what to do, but I did what I do best because I'm a manager in my. I was
Right.
always a manager. I've
Right.
decided to do a family meeting, which only my family will be in the room, not anybody else. The core family, my
Yes.
husband, my elder or Yael, my second daughter, and Dila, of course, because she is there in her bed, and we all gather in this room of her, and I began to say things. I said to my family that we are all very sad about Yuval, and I didn't cry, but I told them I cannot come home at the moment. It's very difficult for me, but no matter what we all do, and no matter what we all choose, Yuval is not coming back. But we are here, and we have to. It's written everybody. It's written everywhere. We need to choose life, and to choose life is not to breathe. To choose life is to choose to live from the same moment our life broke till the end of life. From now on, we are going to choose life. And then I began to speak to everybody. I told all, which was supposed to go to the army 1 month after we buried Yuval, 1 month after this accident. She was supposed to go to the army, and she was supposed to go to officer's course in order to be an officer. But she didn't want to do this. She said
Right.
we gave enough. She was like in a break of belief in everything, because how
Right.
can it be that this beautiful soul, her perfect sister
Your
Yuval,
sister, right.
how can she who did no harm to nobody, in a family that doesn't do harm. We don't do harm, we only do good, we try to do good. This is our
Yes.
intentions, even if sometimes, in life maybe we did something, but how can it be? And she didn't want to go to the army, but I told her in this meeting, you're going to the army, and not only you're going to the army, you're going to the officer's course. I was an officer, and I will help you. This is what I told them. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't plan anything that I said. I was talking from my heart. And then I
Yes.
told to Yael, who was 14 years old and wanted to go to high school in a very super wanted um, theory.
Yeah.
She wanted to go, and I told her, you're going to learn, you're going to go to the youth group where you are a counselor, you're going to do everything. Everybody is not here in the hospital during the day. Everybody, I sent them to the life, not to the grief,
Amazing.
not to the ache, not to the hospital. No, I didn't want them to be here. I want them to be outside. I asked my husband to continue managing his business because this is our living, and
Right.
asked him to send project to finish, to start, to whatever, to talk to clients, to do whatever he does, what
Yeah.
he can do. I ask everybody to do their best, because
Yes.
now we have to choose life. And of course, the last one was Hila, and I told her that we are so proud of her and we're thanking her for coming back to us, because she is our hero, and we
Yes.
are all here to bring her back to us on her feet, breathing, and back to life. And I think this meeting, which I did from a heart of a mother, changed everything, because all the focus of the family was from death to
To
the life,
life.
from
Amazing.
from what we don't have to what we do have. We don't
Yes.
have Yuval, but we have each other. We don't have
Yes.
Yuval, but we have
Yeah.
ourselves, and we
Yes.
have to be here. And
Yes.
I most importantly, I think what I did was giving them the feeling that I see them, that I
Yes.
love them, that Yuval is not more important than them, that everybody is important.
Yes.
Everybody, every soul in this family is
It's
my life.
just as important. Yes. And it's okay. And it's okay to keep going. And I think
Exactly.
so many people are afraid, right, of that moment of losing someone that is so close to them. And especially in your case, as you were driving the car. So I can only imagine the guilt trips and everything that you went through as a mother. But we all want to believe that we can behave in the way that you just described in a moment of such enormous tragedy and such an enormous trauma. And we want to believe that we can, choose life and see the cup half full. And, you know, I want to say, you said you had that moment where you saw the family. Do you feel like there was anything divine in there? Do you feel like there was anything that, because it's very hard, to come out from, and you were still in the hospital, which is, incredible on its own, as far as like the strength and the resilience to embody in such a moment. So, I want to ask you that you're saying you feel like there was divine, because I feel like in those moments there has to be something that is bigger and higher than us. I do want to ask you one thing, as far as like those conversations, because you said you kept encouraging them to choose life. How hard were conversations with Hilal? Did she have moments where she felt like it was supposed to be her and it should have been her? Or, because, and I remember from reading in your book, they switched places in the car too. She sat in her spot and she wanted her spot back. So was there any conversation that, if you can touch on that, just kind of real quick, on how, as a mother, conversating and encouraging life and showing positivity and trying to, relieve the guilt from the daughter that stayed and chose and, got to live after that.
I have to say that I was very authentic with everybody, also with
Yes.
Ila. And I told her that I feel guilty, but nobody is guilty. And
Mm,
even though she didn't say it, I told to her, and I was more importantly than the conversation where at night she was mainly talking to my husband, who was sleeping next to her. I wasn't able to sleep there because I was sleeping in the hospital, but I was sleeping in an ordinary bed because my back was
yeah.
broken, couldn't
Yeah.
sleep there. And my husband slept with her, and she asked a lot of questions, and she wanted to remember because she didn't remember everything. And when you are a child, what you don't remember or what you don't know, you make up. You
Right.
feel in, and you feel in what you don't want as a parent that your child will imagine, because
Yes.
when they imagine, it is usually
Worst case
not good.
scenario.
It's
Yeah.
usually more extreme,
Yes.
more like not a reality. So we gave her the facts. We told her the facts in order for her to know the reality and not to imagine and not to
Yes.
fill in the details that she doesn't know. So
Yes.
we encourage her to ask a lot of questions and a lot of everything that she thought. We told her say everything that you remember, everything you want to know. If you and you don't remember, we encourage her to ask a lot of questions, even though we were shattered, and
Right.
it was very painful. And in the first book, Eli is writing an episode. She wrote an
Mm,
episode in the first book, and she told everybody what she felt. And
mm,
yes, there were lots of things, but we told her that it was nobody's fault. It was
beautiful.
it was being in the wrong moment at the wrong
The wrong
place,
time.
and
Yes.
I don't exactly, and I
Yeah.
don't know what could happen. I told at the beginning, I said that the wisdom of the retro perspective is not really wisdom. Okay,
Right.
and I'm writing it in my book because every choice we did, every choice of the switching of the places, of Hila wanting to come with us to this gymnastic to pick up Yuval, my offering them ice cream instead of taking them home, my changing the course of my ride because this is what I thought was best because this was a night and it was winter and the sight wasn't good, and me deciding to get to let people walk cross the street. Okay, I could choose otherwise. I could choose everything. I could choose
Yes.
otherwise, but I was reflecting
Revolving doors.
always because this is the Swan effect. Okay,
Yes.
because
Yes.
every decision I made this evening led to another decision and to
Yes.
another decision. It was like a rolling event
Yep.
based on my
Absolutely.
decisions. Okay, but aside from
Incredible.
my decision, there were other people. There was
Yes.
another
Involved.
driver. There were another. Everybody was there. So
Yes.
what happened happened. I
Yes.
can't change it, and this is
Yes.
what I'm talking about in my two books. I
Yes.
cannot think about what could happen. The second book is talking about what could happen, and it takes you, the reader, from between reality and imagination, and the life that Yuval could have lived, and what
Mm,
happens in the gap. What do we do when we dream, and and the things are not happening the way we dreamt about, because
yes.
we have a vision about our life, and this is what I'm teaching, and this is what I'm talking about all the time. This is Yuval on the book,
On the cover. Yes. Her
dancer,
silhouette from
Yuval
her
the dancer.
picture. Yes.
And
I love that.
it's not only the Swan effect. She decided to disguise in the last Purim of her life in a black swan.
Costume. Oh,
And it's not, I don't think it's you said if there was something bigger than me. I think
right.
everything was bigger than me. I think that at this moment that I chose, that I saw my daughter, I think Yuval was there with me. And
Yes.
Yuval is talking about this in my second book. The second book
Yes.
is from part of
Re-
the second book is from her voice. She is
Yes.
telling us, and I think I wrote it through her. I don't know.
Mm,
I don't know how to explain it because I'm very down to earth. I'm a manager.
yes.
I'm doing finance. So how can you be? But
Yes.
I'm a mix of, I think, of material and
Spirituality and
spirit.
pragmatic. Yeah, you have the pragmatic, you have the creative, and when things like that happen too, that are bigger than us, and I can say it from my experience too, like I started talking about my mom, you really do feel the presence, you feel the soul, you feel their guidance, you feel like they're with you, and
Right.
they have their ways to channel to you what they
Yes,
think, what they feel, what
I
they
believe.
want you to do. And I think that's really how, when we spoke about your book, the second book, the Swan Effect, that I just showed, and this is the QR code. Unfortunately for all of you English speakers here, the books are still in Hebrew. They will be translated soon enough, but if you want to purchase the books, you can scan the QR code. This is the Swan Effect, the second book that speaks, like you said, part of it in Yuval's voice. And the first book, I call it Gaming Dice, but it's called Rolling Dice, and
Right.
the Livnat calls it Rolling Dice. So my apologies. But this is the QR code, and that's the first book where Livnat tells the whole story. I want to read one of the we had, I think, something in the live chat. Yes, let me read. It's long, so I'm probably going to read half of it from there. The decision to choose life in such a situation is not to be taken for granted and is truly admirable. The ability to manage this difficult situation during the family gathering is a superpower. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. And I think that's where the manager in you comes in. We have a few minutes left. I would love for you to speak about really how, you took that trauma and that tragedy into your business life. Like you said, you open your own business with business, where you're helping CEOs and managers and people in the corporate world to deal with their swan effect situation, may it be chosen or forced upon,
Yes.
and kind of figure out and maneuver through it and make the right choices. So if you can kind of bring us into that word with a few words on how to make choices and give the audience some advices about how to grow financially, personally, professionally, with making choices and not guilting themselves up about the ones that they couldn't.
I want to say that we are all people, and we bring our selves into everything, into our business, into our managing roles, into our lives. And this is why my model, which I created, which is the SWAM models, is basically um, dealing with our lives, which is our financial lives, our business lives, and our personal lives. And in my model, when I do consulting for business and for CEOs. And when I cheat, I also teach in academic schools in Israel. I choose to negotiate and to accept and to take decisions in uncertainty, because we don't know how what the other side thinks, and we don't know what dice is going to
Roll.
throw into the game. We don't
Right.
know. We know, but we can control our dice. We can control how we play this game,
Yes.
no matter in what situation. So I teach these things also in banks, also in the academics, and also in organization that I consult. So my model is a 9 phase model, which
Mm-hmm.
is a revolving model all the time. We always returning to the same spot. The first phase is to do zoom out to the situation. To do zoom out is really important because we are in the situation, we cannot step aside and look. So
Yes.
I'm teaching people how to do it. The way I did it when I was alone with Ila, and then I saw in my spirit, in my mind, what I need to do. So maybe I didn't know exactly what I need to do, but I did the first step. The first step is the most important step. And in order to do zoom out, we need to take aside from the situation. If we're in the hospital, maybe we need to go out. Maybe we need to go to the beach, to some place, or to the nature, or whatever makes us think. Not with our mobile, not with our friends. We need to reconnect to ourselves because we don't see anything. So the first step, because we don't have much time, but I'm speaking about it everywhere. I'm develop it in my book,
Mm-hmm.
everything in my Swan effect. So to do zoom out is to step aside from the situation, maybe to do a walking, maybe to go to the beach, maybe whatever. And then when we come back, after we
With our
clear
mind.
everything, exactly, we come back and we write everything that pumps into our head during the walk, during the sitting, during everything that we did, like for half an hour, nothing more.
Yes.
This will clarify the things for you. After
Yeah.
I do this, I take the things that I wrote down and I do surgical analysis. I step aside every noise, everything that is not exactly like a surgeon in the room
Yeah. In the surgery
during the
room.
surgery, is dealing with the one place that affects everything, is not dealing with our mind right now. If we have a heart disease, he will deal with the heart disease afterwards in rehab,
Rehabilitation.
exactly, sorry,
It's okay.
process. Um, we will deal with the other things, but first we need this organ to be better, right? So
Right.
we
We
choose
go to
to
the
do
source.
analysis on the same spot that hurts the most. At
Yes.
first we don't know to recognize it. This is why we do the zoom out. Then we
Right.
do the surgical. After we see it,
Yeah.
then we operate this thing first.
Yeah.
Then we try to see what will happen in the side effects, okay, the side effects mapping.
Yeah.
What will happen if we do nothing? What will happen if we do this step? What will happen if we do this step? We have
Right.
choices.
I
We want
love
to
it.
map our choices, and then we want to map what will happen if we take this action,
Yeah.
this first, this second. Okay,
Yeah.
we map our choices and we try to decide according to the side effects that are going to happen, because he said everything is circles. When I
Right.
choose to go right, this is a side
Something.
effect. If I
Right.
choose, and this is how we do decisions that are based on facts and not
Yes.
on feelings. We
Yes.
take we a little bit put the feelings
To the
aside
side. Right.
for these three steps. Okay,
Yes.
first three steps. The
Yeah.
fourth one
I
is
don't, I
to
don't know if we're going to be able to get to all of the steps. I'm sorry to cut you
yeah,
off.
I
Unfortunately, we
know.
only have a
But I think
56-minute show. Right.
those
The
three steps are the most important ones.
right. The
And
core.
during
And
all
it
the steps, the choices are made of joy. The
right.
choices are made of not of sorrow, not of because the way you choose to approach your problem or your negotiation, if you want to grow,
Yes.
you need to take it with joy, even in the
Yes.
most difficult times. And I
Yes.
know I've been there. I
Yes.
know. Okay, after
Absolutely.
every down, we can climb up.
Yes.
Okay,
And
and if we don't choose, the side effect will be sorrow, will be diseases, will be could be another loss, maybe of our business, maybe of someone who's important to us, maybe the loss of our family, never
yes.
mind if it's divorce or whatever.
Yes.
If we choose joy, we choose life.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that. And yes, let's always remember that if we choose joy, we choose life, and we step away, we're mindful, we bring it to ourselves, we look for the silence, we center ourselves so we can come to our choices and our realization from a more calm place. I want to thank you so much, Livnat, for being here, for sharing your story with us. You can stay in the backstage. I'm sure people will write you more comments in here. I'm gonna everybody's saying you have an amazing approach. People are keep I kept posting all the comments here. Truly inspirational, Michael says. He last said you have an amazing approach. People kept talking here that you're unbelievable. So I want to thank you so much. I wish you and your beautiful family all the
Thank you.
best. May you guys always keep growing. May
You
only good things happen, and good luck with the new business. I ran your website in here. I'll do it again. If anybody wants to follow you and find you, I put your Facebook in here too. The website has a button in English, so you guys
right.
can enjoy that.
Thank you.
Everything has
Same.
English and Hebrew. If you want to purchase the book, you can scan the QR code. Thank you again, my darling. I truly
Thank you.
appreciate this inspiring, beautiful conversation, and just wishing you
Privilege.
many blessings. Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
choosing me.
Oh, of course, it's a
I love you.
privilege to have you here. I love you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ah, what a story. What a story, guys. It's really hard to go into outer beauty swan effects after this, but we choose joy, we choose life, and the way we see ourselves in the mirror is part of it. So I do wanna get into that real quick before we have to close the show. I wanna share another quote that I thought was beautiful, which is the pain you feel today is the strength you feel tomorrow. For every challenge encountered, there is opportunity of growth, which is exactly what Livnat just said. And one more that I think can touch us all is love is stronger than death, even though it can't stop death from happening. But no matter how hard death tries, it can't separate people from love. It can't take away our memories either. In the end, life is stronger than death. Amen to that. I will bring that. Let me see. There I am. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about outer beauty and swan effects. And like I said, scarring is one of the biggest things that I encounter in my 27 year of working with women. So here is our segment, Beauty Alchemist. Hey, all right. So, there is moments in life, like we said, that everything changes, and it can happen on our outer beauty too. Scarring is one of the biggest things that I encountered with people just not knowing how to handle it. And, a dilemma, something happened, an accident, even a mark that happened from a pimple or something, a mark that happened from discoloration all of a sudden, something new on the face. And we get stuck on it, and we look at ourselves in the mirror and we start judging ourselves for it, and the negative talk starts to come along, and I can't look like that, and what am I going to do? And you have no idea how many people I talk to regularly that just are so discouraged from something on their skin. So here are quick tips on how we can handle scarring on the face. Let me see if I can bring myself up so we can see me too. There I am. Okay, so wait, I need to minimize myself so we can actually see the screen. So the first thing you want to do is use a primer. A primer, if you don't know it, is a product that helps smooth the texture of the skin, fine lines, pores, and of course, when we have some kind of a texture change with a scarring, that can help too. I want to say a big thing about makeup too, which I always say. Makeup cannot cover texture, it can cover color, right? Because it's not a Photoshop. I can push the pimple inside, or I can, if your scar is really showing and it's outer, and bulging, there's not much I can do with it as far as makeup to make it go away and disappear and look smooth again. But I can work in different ways in shadow and light techniques, right? or with covering it as far as the coloring to help it minimize. So primer is the first thing that will help with texture. And after that, I want to use a color corrector. If you never heard of color corrector, it's a great product. I'll show you guys a sample of all these products in a second. But it's a great product to help you with the discoloration. So it helps neutralizes the scar's discoloration. Green helps with eliminating redness. Yellow and purple. Yellow is for purple or bluish color, and purple helps with brown. So if you have hyperpigmentation, a purple color corrector will help. If you have redness, the scar is really fresh and it's still red. If you put green on it, it would neutralize that as well. The next step will be a concealer or a foundation. You want to choose a full coverage consistency, not sheer, not light, not dewy. Full coverage, preferably matte finish, because you want to have it smoothed out, and every time that it's shiny, it actually gives more attention to the spot. So you want it full coverage and matte preferably. Work it in with a small brush and blend the edges with a sponges. I would say probably a brush, either something like this. Wait, I'm going to be like all these YouTube tutorials now. So you can see this brush. So it can be a flat one or it can be an oval one. You want it to be with synthetic bristles, not natural bristles. That's what you want to work with when you work with creams. Um, the powder is probably the most important step after creating your coverage. You worked on it, you covered it, you color corrected it. Now comes the powder. Everything that is cream, you want to set with a powder, okay? Because that's what's going to make it long lasting. So you want to use a translucent powder. That means it has no color. So that way, after you worked hard on matching the color of your skin with the foundation and the concealer, we don't want to throw a powder that has a different color and change it all again. Just use a translucent powder to set it. You can brush it lightly or and buff it up, or when you use a powder puff, you can literally just press it in. Here are some samples of the products I was just talking about. There I am again. There I am double in a picture and in the video. So these right here are the sponges, the usual sponges, those triangle sponges. You can find them everywhere. They're great to work with. This is a beauty blender, which I love. Also great for coverage. When you work with it, you want to work with it in this type of motion where you dabbing it kind of onto the skin. You have the tip, which is great if you have a small scars, and you have the other side that is wider that can work on bigger parts of your face. These are a palette of color correctors, just so you can see how it looks like. You can find that. I think that's an NYX one that I chose the picture. That's like $10 on Amazon or anywhere else. Like I said, green for redness, purple for brown, hyperpigmentation, and so on and so forth. And a translucent powder. If you want more information about beauty, about makeup, you can always visit my website as well. You're welcome to it. I'll put the link in here. Listen, again, it's flying. These shows are flying. I wait for it, I wait for it, I wait for it, and then it's like it's gone. Let me see. This is me. This is the website. If you're here or on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel so we can grow, so we can have more people join us, so more people can get inspired and learn that life, no matter what the journey is inspiring. And we all have an inspirational beauty story. It truly is the most important thing for me, for people to know. So we're here. Let's connect. Social media. Let's connect on email. Send me anything. Poetry, like I said, if you want to share, if you want to share quote, if you want to share things from social media that you saw, I would love to know if you what you took, one thing that you took from today's episode. Write me a comment on the YouTube or on Facebook. The all the episodes stay after the live, so you can always engage with me afterwards and write some comments. I always come back to see it. So I would love to see you here. This is the YouTube channel. If you're from Facebook, come here. If you're in E360 TV, come here and comment and stay engaged with me. I truly appreciate you as always. I always tell you that, time is the one commodity we can never get back. And I appreciate you sharing yours with me. We come for the beauty, we stay for the breakthrough, and Hey, Brega, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for all the comments, for participating. Thank you for my beautiful guest, Livnat Nizri, for sharing her incredible and powerful story. I got my guys in here, always. Don't ever think they're not around. They're like my emotional support animal. I love you guys. I hope to see you here again next week. Actually, we have a repeated show because I'm doing a Tony Robbins event for 3 days. So forgive me, I won't be here live, but I'll see you again first week of August live. Until then, many blessings and thank you so much for being here with me. Enjoy the day. Later.
Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love.